Welcome to Political Ideology in Texas. My name is Irene Rodriguez, and in this video, we'll dive into the world of political ideologies, exploring the influence of liberalism and conservatism on the political landscape of the Lone Star State. We'll also discuss the Democratic and Republican parties in Texas and highlighting their key policy positions. Join me as I unravel the complexities of political ideologies and their real-world impact in Texas politics. What is political ideology? It's a collection of beliefs about the appropriate order of society and how to achieve it. Ideologies are influenced by tradition, culture, and the ever-evolving demands and expectations of the people. This evolution is critical for political parties to survive and politicians to win elections. Let's define the two major political ideologies, liberalism and conservatism. Liberals advocate for an active role of government in regulating the economy, raising the minimum wage, protecting the environment, and ensuring equal rights for all. But they may oppose government involvement in moral or religious issues. Many Texas Democrats hold a neoliberal ideology, combining less government regulations in business with a more liberal approach to social programs. On the other side, we have conservatism. Conservatism in Texas often leans towards minimal government intervention in the economy but favors traditional social values. It generally opposes government-managed programs, civil rights legislation, and environmental regulations. However, it supports restrictions on reproductive rights and opposes marriage equality. Beyond the traditional spectrum, libertarianism advocates for minimal government intervention in both economic and social matters. This ideology opposes restrictions on issues like minimum wage and supports civil liberties. But is the binary liberal-conservative dimension enough to describe political ideology in Texas? People can hold mixed beliefs, economically liberal but socially conservative, or vice versa. Some identify as moderate, finding a balance between the two traditional categories. The experiences of various groups can also challenge this traditional view. Now, how did these ideologies influence Texas politics? Texas has a rich history where the terms liberal and conservative meant more to voters than party names, thanks to the dominance of the Democratic Party with its liberal and conservative factions. Before Texas' admission to the Union, political factions formed around figures like Sam Houston and John C. Calhoun. The Civil War and Reconstruction era saw Republican dominance, but Democrats resurged in the late 19th century. From Reconstruction to the 1970s, Texas had a one-party system, with Democrats in control. The party faced challenges from the Populist Party in the late 19th century. The Democratic Party's dominance faced challenges during the Civil Rights era, as the National Party advocated for civil rights legislation. This period marked the rise of Republicans like John Tower. The 1970s saw increased Latino and Black political activism, impacting the liberal faction of the Democratic Party. Republicans gained ground in the 1980s, electing figures like Governor Bill Clement. By the early 2000s, Texas experienced a realignment, with conservative white Texans shifting to the Republican Party. The 2000s and 2010s saw Republican dominance in state elections. Recent elections in 2016, 2018, and 2020 showcased Democratic gains, but Republicans retained control. The challenge for Democrats lies in mobilizing diverse voters and winning a substantial share of the white vote. Now, let's turn our attention to the Democratic Party in Texas, which has typically aligned with liberal principles. They emphasize an active government role in addressing social and economic issues. The party supports the expansion of access to affordable healthcare, including initiatives like the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. Democrats in Texas often champion government-managed and government-subsidized programs to assist low-income families, reflecting a liberal stance on social issues. Civil rights and social justice are integral components of the Democratic Party's platform. Democrats in Texas advocate for legislation that guarantees equal rights for racial and ethnic minorities, women, and LGBTQ+ individuals. They have historically played a crucial role in promoting policies that aim to eliminate discrimination and ensure equal opportunities for all. On economic matters, Texas Democrats often advocate for policies aimed at reducing income inequality. This includes supporting measures such as raising the minimum wage to ensure a living wage for all workers. They emphasize the importance of government intervention to aid unemployed individuals and alleviate poverty, especially focusing on the well being of children. On the other side of the spectrum, we have the Republican Party in Texas, which leans towards a conservative ideology. This includes advocating for a minimal role of government in the economy and traditional social values. The party strongly advocates for reduced taxing, limited government spending, and minimizing regulations on businesses. This translates into opposing measures such as raising the minimum wage and generally favoring a free market approach for economic issues. The party opposes stringent gun control measures and advocates for the protection of Second Amendment rights, reflecting a belief in the importance of an armed citizenry. The Republican Party in Texas, influenced by social conservatism, takes a pro-life stance on issues related to abortion. It generally opposes government-managed or government-subsidized programs in areas such as healthcare, including initiatives like the Affordable Care Act and environmental regulations. Now let's look at some real-world examples. In 2019, social conservatives in Texas attempted to pass Senate Bill 17, which will have allowed state licensed professionals to refuse services based on their religious beliefs, potentially leading to LGBTQ+ discrimination. The bill's fate demonstrated the tensions between social and fiscal conservatives within the Republican Party. The controversial Heart Bill, restricting abortion after approximately 6 weeks of pregnancy, reflects the conservative stance on social issues, while the ongoing debates over voting rights legislation highlights the liberal push for expanded access to the ballot. These examples illustrate how ideological differences can shape policies and influence the political direction of the state. In conclusion, political ideology plays a significant role in Texas politics, with liberalism and conservatism shaping the state's political landscape. It's worth noting that not everyone fits neatly into these categories, and some prefer to identify as moderates. It's a dynamic and evolving system that reflects the diversity of Texas. Thanks for joining me on this journey through the political ideology in Texas. As you continue to follow the political developments of this great state, remember the impact of these ideologies on the policies that shape our daily lives. Until next time, stay informed and engaged.